foreign meticulously monitors everything that happens around the Earth, the Sun, and throughout the solar system. If something were to enter from the outside that posed a massive threat, we on Earth would be warned in time. The solar monitoring systems are not so much for detecting intruders as they are for observing solar activity. It seems almost strange that an unexplained object appeared on, of all things, a solar monitoring system, seemingly traversing the entire solar system after the sighting. Of the object, NASA received thousands of inquiries from concerned citizens, but this meant to have a completely plausible explanation for the object. However, this explanation does not satisfy all amateur astronomers because the object has a strange resemblance to a spaceship which was already mentioned in the Bible. Before we show you this mysterious object, we would like to ask you for one more contribution. We want to make our channel as informative and varied as possible, and for that, we need you tell us what you think or share your expertise on the subject. If you're one of our subscribers, we'll always reward that engagement with a heart and will pin your important contribution to the top. Just make sure you've already subscribed. Like the video and mention both at the top of your comment, and here we go with one of the strangest objects to ever appear in our solar system, music, February 20th, 2020. Telescopes are used to observe the sky around the clock, documenting every movement in the solar system and on Earth. These precautions are taken for safety reasons as well as, of course, scientific purposes. We cannot rule out the possibility that alien spacecraft will one day arrive on our planet, just as we cannot rule out the possibility that previously unidentified cosmic events will endanger our lives and our safety. We do not yet fully understand the universe, and this uncertainty necessitates constant observation and monitoring of all events. Although NASA officially has no proof of the existence or any threat from extraterrestrial civilizations, it also does not have any proof that such entities do not exist. In reality, hundreds to thousands of sightings of unidentifiable flying objects occur each year on Earth, and in the cosmos, these objects appear in the night sky. During the day, pilots can spot them in the sky or on radar screens surrounding the International Space Station, ISS. On February 20th, 2020, something very strange appeared on the radar of the Solar Terrestrial Relations System. NASA does not deny these sightings and even maintains a complete catalog of cases that simply cannot be explained at this time. Scientists have tried their best to find logical explanations for phenomena like these. Camera in the observatory. The monitoring system, also known as stereo for short, is actually used to monitor solar phenomena such as coronal mass ejections. But on this day, something appeared for which there was initially no explanation, as you can see a strange geometric shape suddenly slides into the picture. And this is not an isolated case because this object has been sighted by attentive observers several times. In the past years, the strange apparition in the form of a large wheel, traveling through the solar system, strictly maintains its geometric shape during its flight and moves unerringly through the image. The shape is so precise, technical, and straight that one is bound to think of an artificial flying object, it seems. That this mysterious shape appears periodically and then disappears in as mysterious a manner as it appeared. Even NASA admits that this phenomenon has been seen many times at NASA, the U.S. Air Force's Specialist Unit looks after so-called unidentified aircrafts on NASA's official stereo page. Concerned people, when asked what this thing is about, could read this statement. The answer is on the exact opposite side of the picture at the same time that this strange-looking feature becomes visible. It is no accident that the feature and the extremely brilliant planet Venus are nearly opposite one another in the detector center as they enter the frame of view from the lower left. The odd-looking geometric object is actually the telescope's internal reflection of the planet Venus. Here is a very spectacular example of internal reflections created by the planet Earth, as seen early in the stereo mission, retrieved from our picture artifact pages. This effect in optics has been detected numerous times. This seemed to resolve the issue for NASA, but debates about the object's actual origin or significance persisted. The wheel of Ezekiel's shape, captured by the stereo monitoring system's HI-2B radar, reminded some observers who were especially interested of a particular item from Christian mythology. Ezekiel was a prophet who saw the Jewish Torah and the Old Testament in a vision. The wheel of Ezekiel is a circle with a cross or four-piece spoke inside. Ezekiel witnessed a complicated configuration of geometric shapes in the sky, including wheels, rings, and eyes. The original Bible text states, "I saw a storm wind come from the north, and it was accompanied by a fire. In the center of a large cloud with a flickering fire and a dazzling glow from the fire that appears as bright gold, there appeared to be 4 living things, and they had the shape of humans. I noticed a wheel on the ground next to each of the 4 living things. The wheels appeared to be made of chrysolite, and they were all shaped the same way, so that it appeared as though one wheel was running in the middle of the other. They could run on all 4 sides and did not change direction while running, and their rims were so high that I was afraid. Around all 4 wheels, above the heads of the living things, was something that looked like a hammered plate, which was awful to look at, like a gleaming crystal. Above the plate, above the heads, was something that looked like a throne, and on what appeared to be a throne sat a figure that looked like a man." Ezekiel 1:1-4. Other versions of the tale depict not only human-like figures but also animals such as lions, oxen, and eagles. In the Bible, this object was symbolic of God's throne, and the wings were a reference to the angelic world. However, is it possible that instead of celestial hosts and divine messengers, Ezekiel merely saw an extraterrestrial flying object? These wheel-shaped objects, which appeared to rotate simultaneously in all 4 directions, have also been linked to UFOs. They appear to be a type of turbine and obviously contributed to the flying object's propulsion. Because of this technology, UFOs are said to be able to stay nearly motionless. Many artistic representations of Ezekiel's vision have been found in the sky over the millennia, and the cross in a circle became the traditional symbol for God's throne chariot. Now, of all things, this symbol appears as an indefinable flying object in our solar system. Could this be a coincidence, or is there more to it? We look at God's throne chariot more precisely because the symbol was well known outside of the Bible. The sun cross, also known as the sun wheel, is a well-known symbol for the progression of life, becoming, and dying in Hinduism. In Norse mythology, the cross in a circle represents the sun wheel, and the division of the circle into 4 equal-sized segments was meant to symbolize the seasons or the passage of time. All contemporary cultural historians now concur that the wheel cross symbolizes the sun's cyclical movement in the day-night rhythm in all societies. When applied to the changing of the seasons, a horizontal cross-strut depicts the Earth as a disk, with the upper semicircle indicating the path of the sun during the day and the lower semicircle representing the course of the sun at night. Spring is represented by sunrise and summer by midday. It is really hard to understand what Christian prophets saw 2,000 or 3,000 years ago and how sane these people were today. There is also constant talk that some of these prophets might have been religiously delusional or had hallucinations. We don't even know what Ezekiel actually saw at the time, or even if he actually existed. However, modern para-researchers have focused on the purely technical subject and the completely non-religious background of these stories. In astronomy, sunset is equivalent to autumn and midnight is equivalent to winter. A book about the so-called pre-astronautics was written by the Swiss Ezekiel's story in the Old Testament is what scholars like Eric von Daniken refer to as the spaceship vision, according to this fervent alternative scientist who asserts that historical and religious writings from several cultures demonstrate the existence of extraterrestrial life on Earth. According to reports, when NASA engineer Joseph F. Blumrich, the former head of the Project Engineering Division at NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, came across Daniken's treatise on Ezekiel's spaceship in his best-selling book, Memories of the Future, he angrily threw the book into a corner and called Daniken a crackpot. However, Blumrich then had a vision of his own and realized that there might actually be something to the idea. Ezekiel's descriptions were converted into technical facts by Blumrich, producing a work that is now regarded as a classic in pre-astronautics. In 1973, the book was released. Naturally, the concept could not Blumrich maintained until his passing. In 2002, that Ezekiel's reports could be applied one for one to a spaceship with a working propulsion system, despite acceptance in conservative scientific circles. We look forward to your personal evaluation and your discussions on the subject. With that, we bid you farewell for today and hope to see you again soon. What do you think of this amazing object that NASA has on its radar screen? Do you think it looks perfectly normal and that it resembles Ezekiel's spaceship founded?